Hey guys, my name is Leo Sawikin, and this is my song "Till You're Somebody Else," and you're watching A Sides. Oh, this restless mind. How is it I'm stuck in this moment in time? Trapped inside myself. Always up in heaven and screaming hell. Oh, seems so far away. Till somebody else. Till somebody else. Oh, it's who we are today, and you can't ever tell till somebody else. Wish that we could see there is so much more what's under our feet, but soon we'll all be gone. Oh, but when the sun explodes, a new day will dawn, a new day will dawn. Oh, seems so far away. Till somebody else, till somebody else. Oh, it's who we are today, and you can't ever tell till you're better, till you're better, till you're better. Oh, ooh, oh, seems so far away. Till somebody else, till somebody else. Oh, it's who we are today, and you can't ever tell till you're somebody else. La da da da. Oh. Can't get out of bed, I've got a heavy head, my mind is led every day, wasting time, forgetting how to try. Oh, it's not fair, but we don't care. No, we don't care. Hard upon a shelf, these pieces of myself, so hard to tell, living in this well. Tell me why We crawl when we could fly. No, it's not fair, but we don't care. No, we don't care. Every day we make the same mistakes. Sit and wait. Tell sorry's not enough. Tell sorry's not enough. Try to numb the pain. I stand out in the rain and curse these chains and ask cold veins. All these scars, burnt bridges, broken hearts. No, it's not fair, but we don't care. No, we don't care. No, we don't care. Every day we make the same mistakes. Sit and wait. Tell sorry's not enough. Tell sorry's not enough. And it's too late to hit the brakes. Now sorry's not enough. Sorry's not enough. Ooh, oh.
Leo, what's up, man?
Not a lot.
Thank you for those songs.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Really beautiful. And this is not the first time you're on A-Sides, which is pretty amazing.
It's my first interview ever, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I guess I'll ask you, since that's the case, like, how has your music evolved, right, over the past 10 years?
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. I used to I feel like my stuff in the past was like a little bit more constructed, and we would get session musicians and kind of do these arrangements that were a little bit more like call and response and like kind of just like more complex arrangements. And I had a producer I was working with who would help me do those. Recent stuff I've been doing has been more just like straight up guitar based, like me playing the songs closer to how I write them and not really adding that many other elements. So I feel like the new stuff feels a little bit more DIY than some of the other stuff did.
When I heard your music, I just automatically thought you were from London.
Uh-huh.
So, and then while you were performing these songs, I did a deeper dive, and I'm not the only one who thinks you are. So I don't think that I'm in bad company. Talk to me about your style and the influences, because like I think, of bands like Keen and whatever, not that you sound like them, but just like from that era of, I guess it was late 90s or maybe now probably more like early 2000s. But just your sound, and maybe it's like the falsettos or whatever, even lyrically. How do you get to that influence of Britpop?
Well, I mean, I listened to a lot of that kind of I guess you could call it like post Britpop kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of that stuff growing up, so I feel like it filtered in a little bit more subconsciously. The main influence on this record was honestly Joni Mitchell and Hajira. I think that like playing, I'll never like have phrasing or like my songs will never have the types of arrangements that Joni Mitchell songs have. They're completely different, but I use similar kinds of chords. And I think that when you combine those types of voicings with like my sort of instincts and like the type, when you combine that with the way that I usually just play naturally, it sort of comes off as being very Britpoppy. Because I think rhythmically, that's just when I'm just like playing something on my own, my instinct is to kind of play in that way. So I think it just naturally became that.
Was there a theme to this record like this? So you have a new album out, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting, right? And I know the nature of the music industry for like the past 5 years now, maybe longer, is you release singles as they come, or you have new music, so you just put it out right away. But you were telling me 9 out of the 10 songs from the album have already been released. So this new album is new to us, and it's not new to you. So it was spread out over how long a period of time?
Well, regarding the releases, we released everything over like the period of a year and a half. In order to stimulate the algorithms, you have to kind of release.
It's fucking algorithm,
dude. It's really annoying. I like, I want to have an album that has like songs on it that, are new to people, but at the same time, like, things can just kind of, I've done that before, and I feel like things do get buried if you release music in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, like over a period of 18 months, like we put out a single, like roughly every 6 weeks. We saved one for the album. But it's definitely it's an interesting world we're operating in right now, for sure.
Was it frustrating at all to just kind of like sit on these songs, during that period of like, I know it was calculated, right? But like, was it frustrating? Like, I just want to release these now.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, part of me likes to save things sometimes, so I don't like just sort of give everything away. But yeah, like. These songs, I wrote these songs, one of the songs I wrote in like 2018, but everything else on the record I wrote between like 2021 and 2023. So yeah, it's like, I have like almost a whole other record of songs that are almost ready. I can't put them out, like, so yeah, it's annoying to have everything be delayed, but it's also nice to like kind of save things and like have something to myself for a little while before I put it out.
Right.
But yeah, it can be frustrating for sure.
Now, have these songs that again are new to us, not so new to you, have they taken on like new meaning for you? Because I'm hearing some of the time frame of some of these songs, and I think of it as maybe like, are these COVID songs? Like some of them?
Yeah, well, they're mostly post-COVID songs.
Yeah.
I couldn't write very well, like during the actual like peak
but like
of the
even
pandemic.
like Fallout, right? Like some lyrically at all were inspired from that.
Yeah,
time.
I think it's because a lot of the songs are about sort of learning to be present and learning to live in the moment, which I think COVID kind of forced us to do that, because there was really no way to know what the future held. Like, for all we knew, like, things were never going to go back to normal again.
Right. Now look at it. Everything's perfectly normal.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, so that definitely affected it. And, I think for a lot of people, like, it was, I know a lot of people who really transformed during the pandemic. Like, I think a lot of people either sort of figured out how to become better versions of themselves, or just completely fell off the deep end.
Right.
Right. So a lot of the songs, like Till You're Somebody Else, the song I just played, is kind of about reinventing yourself in that way and like finding a better version of yourself. So that, I don't think that song would have, came to be if it weren't for the pandemic.
What are you doing these days? Are you, obviously I know you're going to be touring in support of the new album. You probably are touring already, but what does it look like for new material? Is it already in the can, or are you recording now?
I have recorded 4 of the new songs.
Okay.
I recorded them in July, and I brought a couple of my band members out, which I had never done before, and I'm really, really happy with the result. The other songs, there's some that I have demos for finished, and like there's some that I'm finishing the lyrics for. I just finished one on the train ride over here. But yeah, I'm really excited about the new stuff. I feel like the new stuff kind of combines a lot of what worked about my previous stuff, and like the stuff that I did before this record and the stuff that I did on this record. There's a bit more kind of like combustible energy on these new songs, like a little bit more dopamine in the songs, for lack of better words. So I'm really excited to start releasing that stuff out. I think a lot of these songs are very fun, for sure.
Do songs tend to, obviously it's different, but like, do you get ideas for songs and then like you kind of put them aside, or like do you have to like write something in the moment? Like what's the songwriting like process for you?
I always start with chord progressions. I'll usually just be like, the chord progressions kind of come to me in a more natural way. Like I just, I'll be hanging out playing guitar. Sometimes it'll be like, me just messing around with a new tuning or something like that. And so those usually come to me in like times where I'm relaxing and not really in a super like work mode or anything. But then, yeah, the kind of finishing of the songs is more like a much more intentional process. Like I'll usually do that like when I'm outside, like walking around, and like, usually like earlier in the day when my mind is sharper. But yeah, it often takes me like a couple of months to finish a song.
What's the next couple of months look like? When you're performing live, like, are you performing some of the new stuff, or the new stuff for us and the new older stuff?
Right now, well, I just did my album release show last week, which was a lot of fun. It was one of the most fun shows I think I've ever played. And we just played through the whole album. Yeah. The previous shows that I did, we were introducing some of the newer songs, and I'm actually meeting with the band tomorrow, and we're going to start to go through. We're going to start to like work on the stuff that we've already worked on, and like start to develop the newer songs that I haven't done with the band yet. So yeah, we're just going to start playing the new stuff live, the new stuff.
Do you stay with like a set list, or do you kind of mix it up?
Right now we're mixing it up until we sort of find something that works really well. But recently I've just been adding lots of new songs, so everything has kind of been shifting at each show.
I was curious, totally shifting gears, but I'm always curious with musicians who nail falsettos. Mm-hmm. When in your life do you realize that you can nail it?
A falsetto.
Yeah.
I started to get good at doing that more like full sounding falsetto, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. I don't exactly know like when, like what exactly precipitated it, but I don't know.
You just go for it, like studio or something.
Yeah, well, the falsetto, that stuff is honestly some of the easier stuff that I do. It's really just about creating space in your voice to have a kind of bigger sound. Like the mid-range stuff is a lot harder for me.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's probably the reverse, right, with other people, I guess. It's probably reversed with other people.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that I can't sing, and I don't. It's like when I hear musicians go into the falsetto, it's like out of Step Brothers, where it's like I heard, I forget what he says.
Oh, in the movie. Step Brothers?
Where it's like Did you see the movie? Where he's
Many
like,
times, yeah.
Where he's like, it's like angels. Angels. It was like whatever. I don't know. I'm totally messing up the line. Where he sings completely off key, and he's like, I heard it was like angels and blah blah blah. But anyway, but it's like seriously to like nail it and sound so good.
Thank you.
So. And to hear it outside there and listening in here, you know, it's one thing to hear it on the recording, but to hear it here, dope.
Thank
anyway.
you.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for having me.
And where can people find you? Please drop your website, Instagram, TikTok, Friendster, all that good stuff.
Well, the good thing about me having a super unique name is that
Just your name?
No one else has. There's no other Leo Sawikin in the world. So if you type my name into any search engine on any platform, you will find me very quickly.
Awesome.
Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, yeah, all that stuff.
All that stuff. Awesome. This is a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.